Snubby Love, Volume 2. I have days like this where I like to come out in the woods with nothing but one gun, and the gun I carry the most, and bring nothing else. That way, if you want to shoot for accuracy and all that, you're pretty much, you have to use your carry gun, and there's just no other way around it. Now, I reloaded some more of these wad cutter rounds. These are really cool. This time I went from 2.7 grains up to 3 grains, a tight group, so a little bit more. I'm going to run these through the chronograph and see what kind of velocity I'm getting with the upcharge. It should still be pretty light, but I want to see what kind of velocity I'm getting. And then I got some targets, and I measured these out exactly with the measuring tape today to be exactly 7 yards and exactly 45 yards to kind of see what kind of accuracy I can get out of this gun with these loads. So let's run these rounds through the chronograph and see what I get. $668. $667. That one didn't read. $661. $687. So pretty consistent velocities. Pretty happy with that. So I'm going to hit a target at 7 yards and try to group them and just see what I can do. Alright, I'm exactly 7 yards from my muzzle to the target. We'll see what kind of accuracy I can get with these rounds. Alright, I pulled that first one, but the rest of them seem pretty good from that range. And with those wad cutters, you're not going to miss those impact points. That's the cool thing about a wad cutter. Overall, the consistency seems pretty good. Throw some more. Not bad. Now, for anybody that's wondering, that knows about my gun, I am aiming high. I'm aiming my point of aim right on the higher 9 on that target, above the bullseye. And we're still getting a low point of impact. But it's doing okay. Alright, now I'm starting to get warmed up. I hadn't warmed up yet. Let's go for some headshots, and we'll see how they group. And I drop these things all the time because those flat noses are hard to get a hold of. We'll go for, on that target, about, here, to hope to bring them down. I'll try to keep the same point of aim. Smile, those will work. Alright, let me get my camera set up down at 45 yards. I'll launch some off that tank and we'll see how I do. And by the way, I did measure it and make sure in the actual size, because I do quote sometimes different numbers, and the exact size, width-wise, to the body of that tank is 12 inches, which is about from here to here. And the height-wise on the round body part is 18 inches, which is from here to here. So it is almost exactly the the vital size of a man. So 45 yards, you're kind of practicing what if situations, mass shooters and whatnot. And I think if you could hit that, he's not wearing body armor, you got a chance of slowing him down at least. So let me set the camera up and we'll launch him out at 45 yards. Alright, keep in mind that camera angle down there is on a side angle, so it might look like it's hitting to a different windage than what it actually is for me. But we'll just see if I can hit it. 45 yards from this point right here. I'll aim high on the top of it. It sounds like I'm hitting it, but I don't see any movement. It's a little bit far away to see movement, but you know. Those are fun. And I'm hitting. That's the nice thing about a wad cutter too, is if you kind of catch the side of something, it's different than a rounded bullet. Let's take, for instance, if I were to hit the side of this 2x4 here at this type of angle. Maybe I should test this actually. You have a little bit of roundness. It can go in and spit out. Sharp edge of a wad cutter, it wants to hit and it wants to keep pulling in. So let me run a few more at that target and then we'll try that at this 2x4 and see how they do. Alright, my luck's going down a little bit, so let's set up that piece of wood and see how that does. Now, one thing I want to point out that you don't hear about very much when it comes to revolvers especially is that when you are shooting lead bullets through your revolver, you want to be careful that you're not getting excessive leading, because if you have lots of leading in the barrel and then you push a copper jacketed bullet after the fact, what can happen is you have so much lead buildup, and another lead bullet going through it won't matter because lead is very soft. It'll just kind of, you know, melt together, I guess. Not technically, but you know what I'm saying. It's soft, it'll just push it through. Copper is much harder than lead, so what could happen is it'll hit that kind of like a wall, and that lead bullet, or the copper bullet will not deform like the other lead bullets. Therefore, it kind of pushes it, and it can kind of increase your pressure. So I'm going to open up this gun here. All chambers are clear. I'm seeing it's clear from this way. And now I'm going to turn it around and look down the muzzle in good light. And I'm going to see if we have a lot of leading. And quite frankly, I see none, which is pretty surprising. I mean, you've got a little tiny bit of fouling around the forcing cone, but I don't know if this camera will pick it up. But if we can get a nice look in there, there's really none. So we should be fine to run some jacketed through it. So I'll run a couple jacketed on this piece of wood and see what kind of difference we get if it will bounce off versus a wad cutter will cut into it. So let's find out. Alright, frankly, I think the best way to do this is to put it right on the table, and we'll try to get a steep enough angle that we can hit that. Or maybe I should tape it down. Alright, I'm going to try to hit this with a steep angle, as steep as I can, and see what it will do. This is the jacketed bullet. And we got it right where I wanted to get it. Alright, let's try the wad cutter, see if I can graze the top of it. And we do see a little bit of a difference here, and what we see Not a huge difference, to be honest. But what we do see is it's not as deep with the jacketed bullet. And with the wad cutter, we went in deeper, but ultimately it did spit it out. So, there's some level of truth to this here, but how much, I don't know. But that's what you're gonna get with the wad cutter over here and the full metal jacket over here. So, that's pretty good. Alright, I hope you enjoyed a little more Snubby love. You can see when you only have your Snubby on you, it's kind of easier to shoot it a little bit better, because I would say my accuracy is a little bit better than average when it comes to when I come out here with other guns. So, if it's all that you got, you should practice with it a lot. And like they say, fear the man who only has one gun and knows how to use it, because he probably knows how to use it well. So, as always, comment, share, and like, and thanks for watching.